All right, so it's time for another eBay unboxing, and this time I got something from London, Ontario, Canada. And I don't generally buy things from other countries because I don't like waiting a long time, but this actually showed up really quickly. I was quite surprised. So I guess it only took 12 days for it to arrive. Believe it or not, the regular domestic packages I've been ordering from eBay are taking just as long. So maybe I should order from Canada more often. So this is an antique. I saw it on eBay. The seller had a buy it now and a make an offer. And the buy it now is a little too pricey for me, so I figured why not try to make an offer and see if the seller would accept my much lower offer by at least 50%. And he or she did. So it was really quite cool. Wow, this is packed quite well, I must say here. Yeah, so they took my offer of $30, which I really didn't think they were going to accept. They were selling it, I believe, at $60 or $65 with shipping not included, of course. And oh wow, look, it's like one of those Russian dolls, Okay, so it appears I have a little note. It says, "Hello, Deanna, and that's my and that's Miser's purse, eBay number, blah 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 blah. Gilchrist, Rob, and oh, okay, I guess that's their names. Okay, duh. I thought it said Melania. I was like, maybe I got this from Melania Trump. That would be even better. All right, because then it's like highfalutin. All right, here we go. But Melania doesn't have to sell things on eBay to make ends meet. And she's not from Canada. And this totally makes no sense at all. And it says, Miser's purse, mesh, $75. So as you can tell, I think I did quite well on this. All right, let's open it up and check it out. All right, let's spread it out evenly on this table so I could show you the beauty of this thing. And so what these are called are Miser's purses. And I did great English, right? Great English. All right. I've done a lot of videos showing you these type of purses, trying to explain to you, oh my God, what the heck these things are. And why they're called Miser's purses, really, I don't know. But you could see how beautiful this is. Look at the beading. This is, by the way, steel cut beads. Steel cut beads did not become really popular on these purses until about 1850 and onwards. So Miser's purses are basically a sock, and they have a toe, and on both sides, so you'd have two toes. And basically, you drop a coin. There would be a slit. You move these little rings, and here's our slit. Right here, and this is mesh. This is really cool. It's like a crocheted mesh. So you're gonna move the ring. Let's just pull it. You're gonna move the ring past the slit, and you are going to actually try to find the slit if you can. Where the hell is the slit? Ay ay ay. All right, we're having bloopers here. Oh, it's on this side. Here we go. All right, so you're gonna find the slit, and you are going to take your coin, and you are gonna drop it into the side of the purse. It'll reach this part of the toe, and when you want to make sure that the coin won't slide out and you lose it through this little slit, what you're going to do is pull this little ring forward right there. Now the coin that you just dropped in here on this side cannot fall out. And rinse and repeat and do the same thing for the other side. Now I'm feeling around, trying to see if there's an actual coin in here, because sometimes you do get lucky enough because people don't thoroughly check these things. But this is quite beautiful. Now, generally, a lot of them have these little tassels that are hanging on the bottom. Sometimes you'll see all different kinds of things, like little metal danglies. Sometimes you'll see even little metal acorns. That actually means it's really old, from the early 1800s to, the first quarter of the 19th century. If you see these little really cool metallic type of beads, it could generally mean from the 1850s to about the 1880s. Most likely this purse was made around, I'm going to guess, I'm no expert, probably made around, I'm going to say the 1860s to the 1870s. I could be wrong. You could correct me in the comments below. We got these really cool like little pieces here, these little sliders that go across, and again, these steel cut beads. Now, a lot of times, these steel cut beads, actually the better steel cut beads, were actually made in Europe. possibly countries such as Belgium, Austria, Germany, France, and so on and so forth. The American steel cut beads end up generally rusting for some reason. So I'm going to guess that this is a European one, or some actual steel beads that were not made in America. Thus, the purse was purchased in Canada. But people migrate. So we'll never know what country this was made in. But I'm going to probably guess that this was not made in America, because the fact that the steel cut beads are not rusted is telling me this is not American. This is possibly Belgium in origin, or some sort of French. And who lived in Canada? Let's do a little research here. A lot of French people. So yeah, I'm going to guess that these are French beads, and that this purse, this miser purse, is actually French. Now these are quite beautiful. You'll see them in a lot of different colors. Now sometimes you will notice on the toes, on both sides, the danglies will be different on each side. That would help a lady figure out which coin she has in which side of the purse in darkened areas. Now, we know during the Victorian era, they did not have lighting. Well, very good lighting, that is. So if a lady was in a cab or in a stagecoach and she had to pay the driver, she would put different denomination coins depending on, like, for example, she would probably put her silver coins on one side with lesser value, and her golden coins or gold coins of higher denomination and value on the other side. But in the dark, it's hard to fumble around and figure out which side it's on. And so generally, you'll see a different tassel on each of the toes. That would help her figure out which side the higher denomination or lower denomination was. Or generally, sometimes these purses would have a square cut toe on one side and a round cut toe on the other. These varied so differently, and they changed through the decades, so you'll never know. Now, why is it called the miser purse? Generally, men carried these purses. And when I picture a miser, I picture Ebenezer Scrooge from the Charles Dickens tale, A Christmas Story. You can figure, basically, he was the type that would carry a sock around. Now, men used to actually originally, during the Middle Ages and on, carry socks and place their coins in the toe part of the sock. And I guess that's how these got called miser purses, which is quite interesting. Now, this is a really lovely color. It's almost like a beige, a golden beige mustard type of color. It's really hard to pinpoint what this color is, but this is quite lovely. And again, European, French probably in origin, or Belgium beading. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Again, probably made between, I'm going to guess, the 1860s to about the 1870s, possibly earlier. These look like very, very old beads here. These are metal, actually. Really cool twisted metal. And I hope you learned something. These purses actually are getting harder and harder to find in good condition, because most of them are crocheted out of fabric or knit. And a lot of times they end up just getting rips and holes and tears in them. The moths eat them away. And eventually there's going to be none of these left. So appreciate them now and collect them now. Now, storing them, again, don't leave them out in the sunlight. You got to be very careful with this material and the beading. The beading could fall off because it was sewn on with little threads. Take care of them, put them away, wrap them up in tissue paper. If you can, place them in a drawer out of the sunlight and take care of them. These are actually really, really, really quite cool, a part of history and fashion. Especially now, they were more popular during the early 19th century, all the way throughout the Victorian era, up into about the 1920s. During the 1920s, they went out of fashion. How did a lady carry them? Either this way, and she would just, dangle it from her hand and carry it that way. Or she would actually place this between her garter, under her clothes, or attach it to her undergarments, or hang it from a belt that was hanging around her waist. So one side would go inside the belt, and this part would hang down and dangle, and that was another way a lady would carry this. But this is actually really a cool part of history, to see the purses that ladies and men, yes, men, even up in the Victorian era, not just the Middle Ages, men did walk around with these, but they didn't dangle them. They kept them in their sleeve or in their coat pockets. And yes, even beaded ones. Don't mind my English. Men even had beaded ones with fancy tassels. It's not just a woman thing. This like pomp and circumstance. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. See you guys all soon, and hopefully I'll be getting something really cool from another country soon, which I will be. I ordered some stuff from England, and England is going to be delivering some cool items soon. So long.